Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Aiman Nurzharfan Yusni and I'm from Group Fiber. Today I will do a reflection on every task that I did during the project. So let's start with task 1. So for task 1, we need to identify the floor plan, the room size, and the devices we need to put in the room. Let's go to task 2. So for task 2, we need to question ourselves. What do we need in the building, or what devices we need to use. So for this task, I did the access point, what is needed for optimal network coverage, what is the range, what type of devices we should use, because I learned that there is enterprise level device and there is home level device. So we need to use the enterprise level to avoid any congestion and lagging. So for task 3 is the devices. I need to list all the devices including the price. So for this one, it was pretty challenging because we need to do a research for every devices, especially the router and the switch. So from this task, I learned that the wireless access point coverage radius was pretty important. The type of router was important because the low level router couldn't handle a lot of devices, and the switch amount of ports was pretty important too, because if we have a few ports, meaning we can put a lot of devices into the switch. And as for the report, we just did the reflection on the cost. Are you surprised by the price? And yes, I was surprised, especially the router and the switch. As you can see, a single router costs 47k, which is pretty huge. I was surprised. For task 4, as for task 4, we need to measure the wiring, where we should place our LAN, where we should place our devices for the floor. As you can see, for every room, I mentioned how many devices that are used in the room, how many devices are connected to the switch port, and then where are the devices placed. Where do I place the devices? The hardest part here is the connection, because we want to avoid the single point of failure, which leads me to this many routers. I did it a lot of time because at first I was using a equal size subnet. It was pretty easy, but it wasn't reasonable because I use a lot of routers here, which means a single router use a single subnet, total gateways, and then divide the IP based on the gateways that are available for that room. So as you can see here, every room has usable IP address because of the wireless access point. Wireless access point use up to 128, and then for the router IP division, and then the IP assignation, where we will assign the IP for every devices, and finally the IP assignation for the router. This looks a bit complicated. I didn't understand this one at first, but after doing lab and getting guidance from Miss Hazina, I now understand. Overall, what I gained from this project is a practical experience as a network engineer. So from task 1 to task 5, we need to know the building, the room size, what are the costs of the devices, what type of devices we should use, and then how should we place them, how are the wirings are done, and then how do we divide the subnet, and how do we divide the IP address to the devices. So my feeling is I really like this subject. I finally understand what should I do when I work as a network engineer, and a lot of thanks to Miss Hazina for guiding me. I do hope to learn more about this subject later on. That is all from me. Thank you very much.